Good morning. It's Saturday. It's December 14th, a few minutes after 10 o'clock here in western Iowa. And guess what? It's freezing rain outside. Now, if you're going by your iPhone app or, something by Apple, that app is trash, man. It says it's 32 degrees, but my backyard thermometer says 29. Harlan Airport at 9 o'clock this morning said 30, fog and mist. Since then, we just had a light freezing rain shower move through. And we do have our winter weather advisory extended till noon now. High today 34. Rain, freezing rain, and patchy fog. We'll see if we crack freezing today because some of the computer models have us in freezing rain off and on most of the day. So the freezing rain was a big deal. I mean, I wouldn't go out there now. I think some people are, and the roads are treated. Some of them are, but I'm not going anywhere because I went shopping yesterday. I got everything I needed. We'll see. We're going to warm up Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, and then Tuesday night, a slight chance of rain and snow and turning colder midweek. Let's go to Twitter X, and we can show you what it looked like in Omaha last night. When I hit play here, if I can, there we go. This is Omaha Scanner on Twitter if you want to follow them. They do videos like this, and here's someone sliding out of control, going to bump that car. But watch this dude, because not only were the roads slickery, so were the sidewalks and the driveways and pretty much anything. Ow, man, I hate when that happens, and especially if it's caught on camera. Sorry, man. All right, Omaha Scanner again. This guy's going way too fast, and then boom, and then that guy goes spinning. Just a terrible, terrible situation there. I mean, that guy, you could just see, no friction with that ice. He just keeps spinning down the road till he's off camera. I think we have one more. Let's see. This is also last night in Omaha. Someone skidding sideways down the road. So just kind of crazy there in Omaha last night. Hazards across the country, continuing with our winter weather advisory. Omaha, eastern Nebraska, eastern South Dakota, up into parts of North Dakota, into Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Illinois. And then ice storm warning for eastern Iowa, where they're getting greater amounts, probably enough to have some power outages, that sort of thing. Thankfully, not that much ice here, so our power is secure. West Coast, heavy snow for Northern California and the Siskiyous, and that's heavy rain along the Northern California coast. A little bit of snow for the Appalachians. We do see some snow for Idaho, into Wyoming, parts of Montana. Then you go up into northeastern Montana, and it's a winter storm watch for ice. Another ice storm up there, northern Washington, Cascades mostly, with some snow. Currently out there, we are below freezing most of Iowa, but along the border with Missouri, a little bit above freezing, so some of those conditions improving. And then you get down into Texas. It's warm, East Texas, cool, West Texas, Florida on the warm side this morning. And then it's cold along the Great Lakes into the Northeast to start the day. 24-hour temperature change. I mean, it doesn't look like it, but we are much warmer here in the Midwest, and especially like Wisconsin, Minnesota, but still below freezing. Much warmer, or a little bit warmer, I should say, southeast, a little bit cooler northeast, a little bit cooler Four Corners, a little bit warmer west. Surface today. There's your lingering freezing rain in Nebraska, Iowa, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan. Also freezing rain and snow for the Appalachians, and then just regular rain south of that and showery for Arkansas, Louisiana, Texas, Oklahoma, and even parts of Missouri. The West is a mess. Heavy rain along the coast, heavy snow in the mountains in California, Oregon, Idaho in the mountains with heavy snow back towards Wyoming. Anomalous temperatures today. So most of the country above average, a little bit below average for the mid-Atlantic up into the Northeast and the eastern Great Lakes. Highs today supposedly inching above freezing here for most of Iowa, but along the northern border with Minnesota staying below freezing. It's going to be close here in Harlan. We might crack freezing this afternoon. We'll see. Then along the southeast, you see a lot of 70s, some 60s, even warmer in Florida, warm for southwestern Arizona, southern Arizona, and hanging on to those freezing temperatures in the Northeast. Lows tomorrow morning, back below freezing for most of the country. The exception would be, say, Texas, up all the way up into parts of Michigan even. And then down south, of course, starting the day in the 50s, even 60s, is kind of a warm start. Surface for tomorrow, showers from Illinois, Missouri, Tennessee, Kentucky, Mississippi, Alabama, Arkansas, Louisiana, Texas, Oklahoma, but freezing rain moving into the east, and freezing rain up there in Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota. Snow on the backside of that low with some heavy snow, not far from Yellowstone. Rain and snow for the Pacific Northwest with some heavy rains hanging on near San Francisco. Anomalous temperatures tomorrow, much above average. The center part of the country slightly below for parts of the southeast up into the mid-Atlantic and northeast, and slightly below for the west coast. Highs tomorrow, we're getting to near 60 in Kansas tomorrow. 50s for Missouri, 40s here in Iowa, so all this ice will be gone for sure by tomorrow, if not today. And then we go into the Northeast, warmer than it's been, 40s, but some 30s and 20s up there in Maine. Plenty warm, Texas, Southeast, and into Florida, and seasonably cool along the West Coast. 48-hour precipitation, it's just massive for California. And, even parts of Oregon. You could see an inch and a half of rain along the Oregon coast, more than that as you get down towards San Francisco. Also some some precipitation Midwest down into Mississippi Valley, including Arkansas and Mississippi. And then where will this be snow? Well, especially the California mountains and the Cascades of Oregon and Washington, even the Olympics. Heavy snow for the mountains of Idaho, but there's your smiley face. The Treasure Valley staying snow-free. Some rain, though. And the heavy snow also getting into Yellowstone. A little bit of snow up there, Pennsylvania, into New York. Surface for Monday as we start the work week. Lots of freezing rain. Montana, North Dakota. Freezing rain. West Virginia, even parts of the mountains in North Carolina and Virginia. West Virginia, Pennsylvania, New York. Rain otherwise, and rain and snow for the Pacific Northwest. Anomalous temperatures on Monday, very warm for most of the country, except for the East Coast and the West Coast, slightly below. Highs on Monday. You see a lot of 30s and 40s, Appalachians up to the Northeast, turning into the 20s in Maine. The Rockies, of course, below freezing, but warmer temperatures. There's a smiley face even on this map for the Treasure Valley of the Gem State, with 40s for Boise, but 30s and 20s for the mountains. And we have 40s along the West Coast, 50s Central California, and warm, of course, along the South. All right, let's check out the GFS and see what's happening. So we start out this morning. This is 6 a.m., so 4 hours ago. This is pretty much current, showing rain along southern Iowa, freezing rain central and north, turning to snow for parts of Minnesota, moving into Wisconsin. A little bit more rain for eastern Iowa, but again, northeast Iowa, snow and freezing rain. A little patch of freezing rain lingering back here in western Iowa. We'll see. But again, the models are kind of keeping us in the freezing rain and not so much rain here. 29 degrees. Your rain's going to freeze on contact. And then we see, the heavy snow is coming down in California and moving inland. This patch of rain, freezing rain, snow moving into the Great Lakes and into the Midwest. Snow in the west. This gets us to Sunday morning. So tomorrow morning, we see more snow. West kind of fizzling out. We see snow turning to rain for parts of the Great Lakes, but snow hanging on for Pennsylvania and New York. Another batch of rain, heavy at times, Indiana, Illinois, into Iowa, into Ohio. This is Monday morning. And another system for the Pacific Northwest with heavy rain and snow again for Northern California into Oregon and Washington. More rain, thunderstorms perhaps, going from Kentucky, Indiana, Ohio, as we get into the day Monday. So this is Monday afternoon, Monday evening. It's rain moving into the Northeast as temperatures are warming up. Pretty good rains here for Tennessee, back into Arkansas. Heavy rain for the Oregon and Northern California coast, and heavy snow for the southern Cascades of Oregon into the Siskiyous. Lighter snow as you head inland in the Northwest. This is midnight Monday, getting into Tuesday now. Rain in Maine. Heavy rain, Northern California. It's kind of normal these days, it seems. And then we just see things really kind of quieting down, but then another patch of rain from Missouri back into Oklahoma. A little bit of snow for central Iowa, eastern Iowa, light snow for Minnesota into Wisconsin. This is Tuesday night at midnight. So missing out on the snow, western Iowa, which I hate when that happens, but it's happening a lot this year. Probably even through Christmas. We'll show you. Heavy rains as we get into Wednesday morning and light snow up there in Michigan, but kind of heavy rain moving into like Ohio, Pennsylvania, Indiana, even back through Missouri. This is Wednesday at noon. And we see some cold air now coming back into the plains, into the Midwest, and eventually this will move east. But along that cold front is where we're seeing the showers. This is Wednesday night and into Thursday. So that cold air dipping all the way down into northern Tennessee, into Kentucky. The rain changing to snow for Ohio, Pennsylvania, New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine. We're not seeing the snow for the Carolinas that we saw on this computer model a couple days ago, but a little bit of snow in the mountains. Now we're also seeing, as this cold air heads east, the warm air is going to invade. So much of the country warming up as we get into Friday and even Saturday. I think we'll hang on to the cold here in Iowa for the weekend, but warming up south and west with a little bit of rain for West Texas Friday night and into Saturday. And you see how cold it is still in the Midwest, even some lake effect snow here. And then a big storm heading for California again for next Saturday. This gets us into the afternoon. You see the heavy rain and heavy snow there. And also up there in Washington state now. And this is a lot of wind too for the Oregon and Washington coast. This would be Sunday early morning. And then I'll move a little faster because we get more into the land of uncertainty. But you see the warm air pushing back, pushing that cold air out of the Great Lakes eventually. But some snow is still coming down in the east. And so that brief warm up, it's going to be pretty prolonged actually. So that warm air, this is the 26th. So the day after Christmas. I mean, just not a lot of prospects for a white Christmas around here. But we'll check that map coming up. All right, spent too much time on that. Highs Tuesday, warming up south and east and cooling off northern plains. And we'll see that cold air come a little bit further south on Wednesday, back below freezing for highs here in Iowa on Wednesday. And colder, of course, as you head north. Warm in the southeast to the mid-Atlantic. Cooling off, though, even in the southern plains. Highs on Thursday rebound in the southern plains, central plains. A little bit warmer western Iowa, but eastern Iowa hanging on to the cold into Wisconsin, Minnesota, even North Dakota. Then another batch of cold air fixing to come down for the weekend. These are Friday's highs. All right, 8 to 14 day temps. Again, the 21st through the 27th, warmer than average, a good bet for the eastern or the western 2/3 of the country, and below average, a good bet for mid-Atlantic down through Florida. Precipitation-wise, just dry. It doesn't mean it won't rain or snow, but below average, except for the Northwest and southern Texas and Alaska. Your prospects for a white Christmas, well... This is the ensemble for the GFS, so it's all of the GFS runs kind of averaged out. And so, yeah, western Iowa shows a ½ inch of snow on the ground up to, and I don't even know if that's going to happen, but remember, a definition of a white Christmas is 1 inch or more on the ground on Christmas Day, and that's just along the Canadian border, basically, and the mountains of the west. So if you're dreaming of a white Christmas, keep dreaming. We'll keep you posted as we go, but unless things dramatically change, Most of us are not having a white Christmas this year. But we'll keep you posted. So thank you again for tuning in. Have a great rest of your weekend. If I have time, I'll update you tomorrow for sure on Monday. All right. Thanks again.